Newkirk Precinct.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. In the bottom right-hand corner as the red Terran, it is DeMusliM, hailing from Evil Geniuses. In the bottom left, who do we have, Sean?
In the bottom left-hand corner, currently leading the series 1-0, has probably the top 15 money earner in all of StarCraft 2 history. It is Evil Geniuses aLive.
And changing things up, he's the one to go for gas first this time around. Of course, DeMusliM is doing the same. I shouldn't have said of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Actually, he is the number 21 money earner at $92,000. Very impressive history there, and it's quite spread out too. I mean, he did earn $40,000 from his win in IPL 4, but I mean, other than that, just scooping up a few thousand here and there, doing just brilliantly, consistently, and just looking. He has results in 2011, 2012, and 2013. He has not been one of those players who sort of had a spike and then a plummet. Just always been quite good, which surprises even me, Andre.
Why would it surprise you?
Because I watch so much StarCraft, and I'm still not as aware of aLive as I should be.
Yeah, I don't know why it is. I think it is because like his style is not really. You can't really put something on that. When you think of Stefano, you know what you're getting. When you think of someone like Naniwa, you know what you're getting. When you're saying aLive, it's like, oh well, could be anything. He does reasonable. He gets some build order wins sometimes. He has good macro. But like, there's no defining word for him, right? There's no way to really say he is this player. He is really aggressive because he can be really aggressive. He doesn't have to be.
Already seeing some deviation in these two players, where we're seeing the much earlier second gas out of aLive, slightly earlier factory out of aLive. DeMusliM does have that gentle lead in workers, as we can see at 19 supply versus the 18, but that's not even that gigantic. So 2 Marines to 1. DeMusliM, I think, is going to be going for the Banshee play, but aLive, I'm not positive as to what he's going to be doing.
It's going to be interesting. He has made the tech lab on the barracks interesting, and he's going to go straight over to a reactor. I do like this style a little bit. You're able to get a lot of mobility instead of getting that raw power with the Marines. You know, just getting those Hellions out, you can surprise your opponent. And that Hellion-Banshee combination we've seen in ZVT all the time. But let me tell you, it's pretty effective in TVT as well. Oh,
yeah, and especially on this map, if you can go Marine-Banshee tank, it's a super economic opening, too. You have plenty of flexibility to get that extra Command Center down while shoving. I have not really had the opportunity to see a lot of Banshee versus Banshee. So I will get this treat today. We will see the 2 Banshees fly by and high-five one another. DeMusliM's a little behind on his add-ons, opted for the pure brunt force of getting a few extra Marines out a little bit earlier. aLive did get a Hellion started. Did he let that Hellion finish? No. Kind of a funky move from aLive.
Yeah, definitely so. Now, there's a couple of trains of thought whether to get the engineering bay in the beginning phases or not. Normally, you would get it around either 5:30 or 6 minutes, anywhere between that time. How do you feel about engineering bays being used now that there's a big change with obviously Cloak being so powerful, and not only that, normally you have that tech lab on top of the starport?
I'm still broadly of the opinion that if you're on one base, you shouldn't be getting the engineering bay. You're going to be going for a gas focus opening. You should do what these two bad boys are doing, getting their Ravens up early, and oh my god, it looks like the Ravens don't high-five. Uh-oh. Looks like neither player is going to have any clue as to what's up. But aLive is going to get to DeMusliM's base first and see what is up, and then he'll be able to respond accordingly. Oh my god, DeMusliM's going to fly into the mine. Oh, an incredible pullback from DeMusliM in the midst of aLive doing this attack, and aLive is going to lose his Banshee. Ugh.
He did save up his scan, really nicely done. A lot of players will throw down the mules at this time, but DeMusliM not going to do that. Neither does aLive, both of them expanding out. A lot of close calls over here in game number 2.
Wow, God. I almost spat my larynx out, man. That was intense.
Thankfully for aLive, he will be able to just repair it up, so it's going to cost him a little bit of time, but still comes down to him retaining the Banshee at this point.
You know, for the first time, we're actually seeing DeMusliM get the lead in a number of subtle ways, getting his command center up earlier, He also has the 3 add-ons done earlier, 2 tech labs and a reactor, very common in this phase of the game. This will allow DeMusliM to actually transition a little bit more swiftly into that bio play, as he has the extra tech lab to do things like research STIM. Banshee from DeMusliM also doing some work.
Up to 3 kills so far, not too bad. I believe aLive's Banshee is at 4 kills, though. He's been doing really, really well. So for that small amount of time, oh, unfortunately, the Viking was able to take out DeMusliM's Banshee. So unfortunately, he's going to lose his ever so small lead here. DeMusliM does have his Orbital Command Center up way before his opponent. That's going to be about a half a mule. Not a big deal.
You know, I will say, though, I think the unit in the game that gets the least amount of credit for wins is the worker. Just constantly building workers gives you such a powerful edge. I mean, if you think about the fact that a worker mines 40 minerals a minute, you get 2 or 3 extra workers, that's hundreds of extra minerals that you're going to be gaining throughout the course of a game from each one. That builds up fast. That's going to be an extra barracks or 2 in mid-game.
That's right, and it's a lot faster for you to expand. Obviously, you yield the benefits so much faster just to even get over 24 SCVs. Now, it's not very common, but it's definitely seen.
Is he going to get that? Play. And he is going to, and he takes it down. But meanwhile, on the backside, aLive is not forgetting the importance of maintaining aggression. Drop Mine Man just to pick off a Marine, but a lot of SCVs are falling.
This is kind of the weakness of not getting the engineering bay. You know, as you said, I think it is theoretically correct not to get the eBay right away. But sooner or later, you do need to throw it down just to have at least I think, 1 turret up to defend against stuff like that. Those Marines were able to skirt in so far forward to chase the SCVs. That should not happen. You should have a little bit of buffer with that 1 turret just to keep them absolutely safe. Marines will get picked off over here from some other turrets and landed Vikings, but you have to be careful. A lot of units coming in here. Oh no, the Vikings from DeMusliM now.
Oh no, that Viking is absolutely going to fall. It looks like one's going to go down. Will he manage to pick off the Raven? He gets Viking number 2, and all this was just to get DeMusliM very far out of position. Look at aLive manipulating DeMuslim's position just perfectly. Widowmine has already moved up to the natural.
Oh, this is beautiful. Auto turrets can be dropped. And he's going to drop them all. I thought he would at least save a little bit for some Seeker missiles. Nicely positioned over by aLive. Now moving his siege tanks all the way up onto the top, where he can start sniping away.
Wow! And it looks like DeMusliM has managed to, or aLive has managed to work his way all the way into DeMuslim's natural. Is in range of aLive's tanks, so that tank will fall DeMusliM. His own natural expansion is under fire. At 12 minutes into the game, neither player even has stim or combat shields on.
A gigantic advantage out for aLive, as he's just in such a dominant position. He has his expansion up. He has DeMusliM stopping his expansion from mining, and now going to pick off this 1 Raven. What a brutal loss.
Oh! Well, a little bit of an advantage there for DeMusliM, managing to pick that off, but still the Marines heading in towards these SCVs, picking them off one at a time. Looks like DeMusliM, doesn't want to try to do that. I mean, he has to position these tanks just on razor's edge, and of course aLive not going to give up any advantage, just sitting with the tanks as long as possible before safely heading home.
That's right, and aLive is macroing. He has his 1-1 on the way already. Everything just looks solid for aLive. Even his 3rd command center is all the way finished and floating over to the 3rd position. I mean, things look fantastic. EG aLive is probably going to get his essential upgrades, the stim, the +1/1, Star Combat Shield, and from there, just retake map control. He doesn't want to stay over in his opponent's side too much, but what does DeMusliM do from here now that he knows he's super far behind? What kind of risks are good risks to take?
You know, the hidden expansion is, of course, just the most typical and standard of kind of risky plays to get yourself back in the game, but, I mean, in the TVT matchup, doing that sacrifices your position, and that's far more important than anything. I mean, the biggest thing that a lot of players will also do is just try to get another factory and begin playing it slow. Rely on the might of the tanks, try to bait a poor engagement, but DeMusliM right now is behind on upgrades, SCVs, expansions, tanks, and medevacs. So this is going to be a very, very tough win.
Now boosting past all the Marines that were there for Garrison. They're going to take out a lot of these SCVs that were making supply depots. It's okay though, DeMusliM will not be supply capped, but overall this is doing good damage. Now boosting away yet again, putting pressure on the natural. And this is going to do damage. Auto turrets are going to come up here.
Oop, only one auto turret goes down. DeMusliM unable to throw on the second one. The Marine blocked it at the last second, so now we're seeing DeMusliM try to stim.
Oh, no,
oh
Raven.
God, loses the Raven. Does manage to pick off the medevac. A little gain, but I mean, look at this. aLive's third base up and running. We see plenty of mules landed. We see even a couple Marines spread out to knock down those cooling towers. Sensor tower up for aLive. This means aLive now can kick into maximum gear, can just begin shoving out aggressively. aLive accidentally forgot to get his 2-2 upgrades, though, so this is a nice little bit of an opportunity for DeMusliM, but aLive is just playing absolutely amazingly.
aLive is also moving out into the field. I kind of don't love this position for DeMusliM for taking this particular expansion because it's so close for pushing options, and when your opponent has such a big material advantage, obviously they can just bait out a lot of units, actually a lot of units already over there, and then push over here. This is the money spot.
Oh,
we can
yeah.
really deny a lot of the gas.
This is so brutal. Look, he's moving his units up to this top side, which causes DeMusliM to reposition his own, and then the counter drop in the main. But will DeMusliM see it? Will he see it? Will he see it? He doesn't react in time. Oh, DeMusliM. There are tanks trying to siege up, so DeMusliM will target fire one and be able to take it down, but the second one will stay up.
That is a lot of stuff there, and DeMusliM's still worried that there are units outside the third base.
GG.
No,